What does it mean to dream of coughing up blood? When you dream of coughing up blood, at least two things are happening. First, you have a dream about coughing. This enough of itself is quite substantial. A lot is going on when people see themselves in their night visions coughing because normally people don't cough. They breathe. When you cough, it's usually an indication that something is not normal, pleasant, or desirable. At the very least, your throat feels itchy. Maybe you're smoking and you can't handle the smoker, or maybe you're not a smoker and you cough because your throat got irritated by something that you breathe in. Whatever the case may be, coughing is not a normal activity. It's a way for the body to draw attention to the fact that something is going on and that is not normal. If you add a very strong image of blood into the act of coughing, it's not all that surprising why you should be alarmed. If an uncontrolled cough is problematic enough, can you imagine what blood represents? What does a dream about coughing blood represent? Coughing up blood in normal situations is a serious matter. You need to get to your doctor as soon as possible. Something is very wrong with your body because the blood that you just coughed up indicates a serious health condition. Let's pull this apart piece by piece. What does dreaming of coughing mean? When you dream of coughing, this usually means that your subconscious is giving you a warning regarding people who are close to you. The air that you breathe is crucial to your life. If you want to continue living, you need to breathe in smoothly. When you may have disrupted by coughing, this can indicate that there is some sort of threat to your life. Now, dreams of coughing don't necessarily mean that you have people close to you that want to harm you. Instead, they want to take your attention, and you need to focus on this. The air that you breathe every single second and the air that you take for granted can be likened to your close social circles. We are talking about your relationship with your parents, with your siblings, or your close friends. You're in an area where you expect to be safe. In the company of these people, we normally think that we are fully accepted and we belong. Any kind of betrayal, disruption, or miscommunication within this close group of people or a close circle of intimate relationships is sure to throw us off. We become insecure. We don't quite know where we fit in, and this threatens our existence at some level because we don't know we are without their validation, support, and companionship. Make no mistake, this support is as precious as air, and when you cough or are caught up in a coughing fit, this means that there is disruption. This can take many different forms. Your subconscious might be communicating to you that they would let you down, or in some cases, things can get so bad that it feels like a betrayal. Similarly, when people are consciously doing something to undermine you, erode your confidence, or otherwise take what should be yours, this can indicate jealousy, envy, or possessiveness. Believe it or not, a lot of people who think they truly love us wouldn't think twice about undermining us or even hurting us because they feel that's in our best interest. They're not motivated by envy or greed, but by something else that is just as bad. Misplaced love does not much differ from outright hate. Remember that. So you see yourself coughing almost violently. One interpretation here is that there's some sort of disruption in your close personal circle. This takes place before the scene in your dream where you're coughing up blood. For you to expel blood from your throat, you must first cough up, and it's often very violent, and you go through this fit for an extended period of time. You might even run out of breath. This is why it's really important to remember as many details from your dream as possible. To get an accurate dream meaning, you have to pay close attention to the small details. How long were you coughing? For example, how long were you coughing before you noticed the blood? How much blood was there? What kind of cough did you have? Has anybody that has gone through all of this all too common experience with you? Coughing can vary tremendously. It can be short, almost light and harmless, or it can be very deep. It can seem like it's coming from your core or from deep within your lungs. In fact, if you experience deep coughing, you might feel that you're about to hyperventilate because it seems that all the air in your lungs keep rushing out. These are the extremes when it comes to coughing, so pay close attention to these small details so you can understand what these initial images from your dreams represent. What does coughing blood mean? Blood is almost universally viewed with alarm. When blood comes out of your body, your number one reaction is that there is something fundamentally wrong. But the truth is a little bit more complicated. When you are dreaming of coughing up blood, it can actually mean that something is going on in your life that your subconscious sees as a turning point. This doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Blood in this context represents new beginnings. It represents energy, vitality, and the ability to make new things happen. Now, this might sound a little bit positive, but let's be honest, most people are scared of change. We grow accustomed to thinking a certain way and doing things the way we've done them before. And when presented with new experiences and new ways of doing things, people get cold feet. This is understandable, but when you're looking at blood imagery right before experiencing coughing in your dreams, you get scared. The good news is, in this context, unlike a bleeding wound, blood is a positive symbol, whether you like it or not. Take note of this central fact. There is going to be some sort of new beginning, but you're going to have to go through changes first. This is what is so challenging and so scary about such situations. In many cases, for you to experience a new start or a new beginning, you have to change how you communicate to the rest of the universe. In many cases, you have to change how you look at yourself. Blood, of course, represents life. This is the fundamental meaning of blood. Everything being normal and everything being equal, blood is necessary for the proper maintenance and sustenance of life. You can also look at blood as transferring the life energy of one generation to the next. It is no surprise that there is a strong correlation between the dream imagery of blood and sexual reproduction. Given this perspective, your dream of coughing up blood can represent new romantic opportunities. You may be thinking that things have been working out for you when it comes to emotional relationships. You might want to think again. You might, because there is something more exciting around the corner, at least when it comes to your existing partner or possible new partners. When you see yourself coughing up blood in your dream, it can be an indication that your perception of yourself as somebody worth loving is slowly going through changes. Again, this can be both positive or negative. This indicates your view of your value as a person. A lot of people make themselves unavailable to others because they're expecting some sort of perfect partner. Why? They have such high expectations of themselves, or conversely, they have such low self-esteem. The other extreme is also true. Maybe you're going through some sort of trauma from your childhood and your past relationships have really just let you down or flat out disappointed you or even hurt you. You may be feeling bitter about certain areas of your life. You have to take a big picture view of your emotional life for you to be ready for any potential new romances or love opportunities. A lot of single women think that they can't find the right guy because those guys are simply unavailable. Either they're married, gay, in prison, or otherwise unavailable. But the truth is, a lot of otherwise attractive and emotionally balanced women can't find the right person because they did not make themselves emotionally available in the first place. When you see yourself coughing blood, this can indicate a change in your attitude and mindset regarding your worthiness or readiness to get into a relationship. This can have a profound impact on how the other people see you. Remember, people are not dumb. You are always giving up signals, and people are perceiving those little signals. And you might not be able to put your finger on it, but people can see you a mile away. So when you change how you perceive yourself, your desirability, and your worthiness for some sort of a mutually rewarding emotional relationship, that's when things will start to change. Why? The signals you're sending out to the rest of the universe start to change as well. It tracks your mindset. What does it mean to dream of someone coughing? When your dream centers on somebody else coughing, it can indicate that you were worried about their health. This is the most basic and obvious interpretation. Your subconscious picking up all sorts of signals based on their routine and on what you've heard about that other person. Either you've heard from them directly or their friends and relatives have clued you in on what's going on with them. Whatever the case may be, your subconscious is picking up certain signals that you can't quite articulate in your waking life. You may not have been able to connect the dots as far as their health outcomes go, but your subconscious is showing you in very clear terms that the image of this person coughing up blood indicates that there is something fundamentally wrong. This can indicate that you have a bad feeling about their health, and you can actually detect that things are going to make a turn for the worse. None of these situations is good. Prepare yourself to help them. At the very least, be available for them. Be available to listen to them. At the very least, get ready to be ready with the right information so that you can actually help them. You don't necessarily have to play doctor, but you have to be able to refer them to people who can get them out of that tough situation. Another way to interpret this dream imagery is that the person may not be going through some sort of health emergency at all. Instead, your subconscious is presenting you with very emotional energy. Believe me, seeing blood in whatever context is enough to get people to sit up and pay attention. Your subconscious is trying to draw your attention to your relationship with that person. Let's face it, as much as we say we love each other, and as much as we say that we care, at other times, our most intimate family relationship don't get the kind of attention they need. We can't seem to find the time until it's too late. For example, you can dream of your mom dying and you waking up crying, but at the end of the day, you don't call her. Or you call her, but you just stick to the surface and nothing really big or transformational happens in your relationship. This is reality. Maybe you're just too busy with your career. Maybe you're preoccupied with some other areas and problems with your life. That's fine. That's the real life. But you have to understand that if you expect other people to love you no matter what, you also have to be able to take care of their needs. It's a two-way street. And unfortunately, a lot of people do not want to take up their end of the bargain. And it's really sad that for the most of us, a lot of our relationships are imbalanced. A lot of our relationships really are one-way relationships and are defined by one person instead of the other person in the relationship. What does it mean to dream of someone pretending to cough? A pretended cough is a very tricky image to decipher. On one hand, there is a sense of deceit. This usually takes place when someone's trying to say something unpleasant and they don't want to use euphemisms so they pretend to cough to kind of disguise the word that they're going to use. At least psychologically, when they cough, they're trying to signal to themselves to get ready for the emotional impact on you, the recipient of the message that they are sharing. This has probably happened to you. You were assigned to share some unpleasant news and you can't quite bring yourself to say it straight up. So you stumble and you stutter, you stammer, and from time to time you cough. This is perfectly natural. What your subconscious is telling you is that there are certain 800-pound elephants in the room when it comes to your own personal relationship, your own personal life, that you really need to be more honest about. A lot of the times, the best way to deal with a problem is to stop hiding and to look at the situation and describe things as they really are. There's no space for pretending. There's absolutely no need to keep on hiding because the sooner you call things for what they are and roll up your sleeves to actually get to the bottom of them, the better off you would be. Let's put it this way. When you keep a lot of 800-pound elephants in the middle of many rooms in many areas of your life, you actually waste a tremendous amount of your emotional, psychic, and spiritual energy keeping up that appearances. It's very hard and very expensive to maintain and sustain 800-pound elephants in psychic rooms.